On the morning of February 16, 2016, at 7 a.m., in Cixi, Zhejiang Province, a janitor was about to start cleaning the apartment complex. She saw a mannequin under a nearby tree. Just as she was getting angry with the residents for littering again, she noticed a pool of blood next to it. The janitor was so frightened that she screamed. Welcome to Red Eastern True Crime. If you enjoy this story, please subscribe to my channel. Let's dive into this story. Police quickly arrived on the scene and found that the deceased was Zhao Yang, a 33-year-old nurse who had recently moved to the area. She had been stabbed. With the help of neighbors and surveillance footage, police identified a male suspect the next day. They were surprised to discover that the suspect had been talking to Zhao Yang's mother-in-law, Zhang Lanzi. Zhang Lanzi was born in 1957 in Cixi, Zhejiang Province, the fifth child in her family. Because her family was poor and she was a girl, her parents gave her away soon after her birth. Fortunately, her foster parents, who had no children of their own, loved her dearly. Despite the challenges of the Great Famine and the Cultural Revolution, Zhang did not starve like many others. She was able to attend school and graduate from junior high school. Her foster parents later helped her get a good job with a supply and marketing cooperative. But Zhang had her own struggles. At school, classmates often gossiped about her behind her back, and then she discovered that her biological parents had abandoned her, which made her feel like everyone was making fun of her. This caused her to lose her sense of security. After working for a few years, Zhang met her ideal man, Wu Jiali, who was tall, handsome, easygoing, and took good care of her. Her relatives thought she was lucky to have such a husband. In 1982, their son Wu Dong was born. Zhang quit her job to stay at home and take care of her son. Over the years, being a housewife made Zhang feel cut off from the outside world. The demanding household chores caused her to neglect her appearance, and her temper became worse. Meanwhile, her husband Wu rose through the ranks, eventually becoming a factory manager. Over time, Wu began to spend less time at home, which made Zhang feel uneasy. She tried to convince herself that Wu was just busy with work and social obligations. One day, however, Zhang found evidence of Wu's affair. For practical reasons, Zhang decided not to get a divorce, but she was deeply disappointed in Wu. They decided to live separately, and Zhang focused all her love and hope on her son, Wu Dong. She often told Wu Dong bad things about his father, and refused to let him play with the toys his father bought for him. When she found out that Wu Dong had secretly met with Wu, she got angry and had a big argument with Wu. She even made Wu Dong choose between them, which made Wu Dong cry and promise not to upset her. Wu Dong grew up always obeying his mother. After he graduated from college and got a job in a government agency, Wu and Zhang bought him an apartment in a nearby neighborhood for his future marriage. In Zhang's opinion, Wu Dong was a good-looking young man with a stable job, so she wanted him to find a perfect girl who would listen to her. She asked her friends to introduce potential matches, but before Wu Dong even met them, Zhang felt unsatisfied. The girls she liked, Wu Dong didn't, and vice versa. In 2010, 28-year-old Wu Dong met Zhao Yang, who was the same age. They quickly fell in love, and after dating for a while, Wu Dong was sure that Yang was the one he wanted to marry. He brought Yang home to meet his mother, Zhang, who was very unhappy. She later told Wu Dong that Yang was small, older, had a low income as a nurse, had no brother, and that Wu Dong would have to take care of her parents in the future. Zhang felt that Yang was not a good match for Wu Dong. However, Wu Dong didn't care about such things. He thought that Yang was positive, sweet, well-educated, and understanding. Completely different from his mother's strong and controlling personality. He felt relaxed and happy when he was with Yang. Zhang kept telling Wu Dong to break up with Yang, and even called Yang to ask her to end the relationship. Wu Dong refused, so Zhang pretended to be sick and cried madly. Wu Dong lied to Zhang that they broke up to avoid a bigger conflict. On the other hand, Wudong's father was very happy after meeting Yang and was willing to pay for their wedding. In the end, Zhang couldn't stop Wudong from marrying Yang, but she couldn't bear the thought of her son leaving her to live his own life. Feeling that her son was her only hope after being abandoned by her biological parents and betrayed by her husband, Zhang sold her own apartment without discussing it with anyone and moved into Wudong's apartment. Wudong and Yang had to quietly accept this arrangement. After moving in together, Zhang often picked on Yang. When Wudong wasn't home, Zhang would criticize Yang for small things, like not cooking well or wasting electricity. She would even barge into Wudong and Yang's bedroom without knocking, making them feel extremely uncomfortable. Even though Wudong reminded her several times, she wouldn't listen. In February 2012, Wudong and Yang welcomed their son into the world. Zhang was happy to see her grandson. When Yang returned to work a few months later, Zhang helped take care of the baby. To please her mother-in-law, Yang occasionally bought Zhang clothes and makeup, but Zhang didn't show any gratitude. When Yang was feeling down, she would complain on social media, but she never confronted Zhang in person. Even when Yang was scolded by Zhang, she would take it so as not to cause trouble for Wudong. Wudong was also very attentive to Yang, coming home right after work to help with household chores, take care of the baby, take Yang out on dates, and give her gifts to make her happy. Wudong and Yang's intimate relationship made Zhang feel very depressed because she felt like an outsider. Her only consolation was that Yang often worked night shifts at the hospital and slept at home during the day, giving her more time alone with her son. Over time, Zhang began sleeping in Yang's bedroom, under the pretext of taking care of the baby at night, so that her son could get a good night's rest, sharing the bed with Wudong. When Yang found out, she was very distressed. After Yang's parents learned that her frequent night shifts were causing health problems, they used their connections to help her switch to day shifts. With a more regular schedule, Yang had more time to spend with Wudong and her baby boy. The couple often walked hand in hand after dinner, chatting and laughing. Neighbors commented on their strong bond. Upset at having less time with her son, Zhang took matters into her own hands. One day, she went behind Yang's back to the hospital where Yang worked, found her supervisor, and asked that Yang's schedule be changed back to night shifts. The nurse manager refused, and Yang's co-workers were all shocked to hear this. After Yang and her parents felt that Zhang was unbelievable, her parents even suggested that she consider divorce, or at least move out with Wudong and the child to live separately. Although both Yang and Wudong thought about it, they never made a decision. One day, when Yang wasn't feeling well and was resting in her bedroom with the door closed, Zhang didn't know she was home. When Wudong's father came to visit his grandson, he ended up arguing with Zhang. In the heat of the argument, he angrily called Zhang an evil woman and said she was crazy to kill even her foster mother. When Yang later discussed the matter with her parents, they were not surprised. They revealed, "When you were planning to marry Wudong, we discreetly inquired about his family. We heard rumors that Zhang caused the death of her foster mother, but we didn't take it seriously. Rumor has it that after Zhang's foster father died, her foster mother's health deteriorated, so she moved in with Zhang's family. However, Zhang's husband, Wu, found her mother dirty and smelly and used it as an excuse to avoid eating at home. Wu later cheated on Zhang. To improve their relationship, Zhang rented an apartment for her mother to live in. Zhang had to go back and forth to take care of her mother, and Wu didn't help at all. Over time, Zhang felt that her mother was a burden. When her mother fell ill, Zhang gave her some medicine, which unfortunately led to her death. Zhang didn't inform any relatives and had her mother cremated. Months later, during the Chinese New Year, visiting relatives learned of her mother's death and demanded an explanation. Zhang even disappeared for a while, and the whole neighborhood heard about it. But for the lack of evidence, the matter was eventually forgotten. But Wu became even more distant from Zhang. The more Yang thought about it, the more afraid she was of Zhang. Soon, Yang told Wudong that they had to move out and live on their own, or else they would get a divorce. In August 2015, Wudong and Yang spent 400,000 RMB, or about $64,000, to buy an apartment in an old residential area with limited security. They didn't have many options because they needed to move out quickly and didn't have much money. When Zhang found out that her son was moving out, she felt abandoned again. She said to Wudong, "I raised you for nothing. Once you have a wife, you forget your mother." She began to insult Yang and even threatened Wudong to jump off a building. During daytime conversations with friends in the park, Zhang often complained about her daughter-in-law, once saying angrily, "One day I'll kill her." Her friend told her, "Don't say such things. It is normal to have problems with your daughter-in-law." Since Zhang had strong objections, Wudong suggested not to rush the move, and Yang agreed. They arranged to renovate the apartment first and calm his mother's emotions. After that, Yang just went to work every day, concentrating on the renovations and trying to avoid seeing her mother-in-law as much as possible. Zhang's hatred for Yang grew deeper, but she held back from insulting or scolding Yang to prevent her son from drifting further away. One day, while crying in the park and talking with friends, Zhang said again, "I will definitely kill her." Her friend advised her to try to be nicer to Yang and improve their relationship, as this might stop her son from moving out. A young man named Xiaoping, 23 years old and unemployed, who spent his days doing nothing and dreaming of making a lot of money, overheard the conversation. He approached Zhang and asked, "Are you really going to kill your daughter-in-law?" Zhang immediately replied, "Yes, for sure." Soon after, Xiaoping introduced his friend Zhao Jiangguo to Zhang. Jiangguo told Zhang, "I can do anything if you pay me enough money. Your son can remarry if his wife dies. It's no big deal. We'll make it look like an accident and no one will know." Zhang was very pleased with the plan. She even bought Jiangguo some new clothes and gave him money to buy a scooter for easy transportation. A few months later, Wudong and Yang moved into their new apartment with their son. Zhang and Jiangguo agreed on 150,000 RMB, about $24,000, for Jiangguo to eliminate Yang. Zhang paid Jiangguo 50,000 RMB, about $8,000 in advance. With the information provided by Zhang, Jiangguo studied Yang's routine and came up with several murder plans. However, Zhang rejected all of them because they didn't seem like accidents. Jiangguo revised the plans, but Zhang hesitated. By the end of 2015, she still hadn't given Jiangguo the order. In early 2016, Wudong took a trip to Nanjing with Yang and their son. The three of them had a wonderful time and took many photos. Wudong regularly shared these happy moments with Yang on his WeChat moments. When Zhang saw this, she was furious. Wudong didn't even bother to tell her when they were going to travel to another city, and he seemed so happy with Yang. Zhang felt that Yang had completely taken her son away from her. So, she ordered Jiangguo to be ready to take action. In the early morning hours of February 16, 2016, the 9th day of the Chinese New Year, Zhang and Jiangguo again went to the residential area where Wudong lived. At around 6 a.m., Zhang and Jiangguo returned to the front of Wudong's apartment building as Yang was leaving for work. Zhang approached Yang and lured her into a corner. Without saying anything, Jiangguo came out and stabbed Yang several times. Worried that Yang might still be alive, Zhang continued to stab Yang until she fell. Jiangguo quickly fled the scene, while Zhang calmly made sure her clothes were clean and went upstairs to see her grandson. After the tragedy, Wudong was devastated. He couldn't believe that his wife, who was fine that morning, had been tragically killed outside of their home. He lost Yang forever, and their 4-year-old son lost his mother. Meanwhile, Zhang remained surprisingly calm. Wudong and Zhang were then taken to the police station for questioning. Confronted with the identification of Wudong's neighbors and surveillance evidence, Zhang was forced to admit that she knew the suspect, Jiangguo. Using her information, police arrested Jiangguo that same night, in Henan Province, hundreds of kilometers away. As he fled on a long-distance bus, Later, the middleman, Zhao Ping, was also arrested. He had not received any money before his arrest. Zhang confessed to hiring someone to kill Yang and said she felt sorry for her son, but she blamed her actions on her husband Wu, accusing him of betraying, hurting, and provoking her. She claimed that it was Wu's behavior that drove her to do what she did. On the morning of February 17, at the police station, Wu Dong looked blank and lost as he learned the truth. He walked past his mother, Zhang, without even looking at her. On October 24, 2016, the Ningbo Intermediate Court in Zhejiang Province announced the verdict. Zhang was sentenced to death for premeditated murder. Zhao Jianguo received a suspended death sentence, and the middleman, Zhao Ping, was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Wu Dong and Yang's parents demanded compensation from the 3 perpetrators. The court eventually ordered the 3 criminals to pay a total of 500,000 RMB in compensation, with Zhang being held responsible for 300,000 RMB, or about $32,000. Zhang was extremely narcissistic and had an abnormal love for her son that went beyond a typical mother's love. She wanted to monopolize all of her son's affection and control his entire life, never seeing Wu Dong as an independent person. Whenever her son wanted to live independently, she felt that she was losing control and being abandoned, and resorted to moral manipulation and threats. In China, the relationship between mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law is often fraught with conflict, especially when the in-laws contribute money to buy a house and help raise a grandchildren, which creates more tension. Zhang saw her husband and son as her possessions, and she eliminated her foster mother and daughter-in-law to keep her real family. All the while, Zhang believed it was Yang's fault that she was murdered, and only regretted why her husband and son would betray her. Now Zhang has been executed. What do you think about this case? Do you think that Wu Dong is a mama's boy? Please share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to my channel.